Warning, this video contains mature topics and spoilers for Hazbin Hotel. Viewer discretion is advised. So, I've just finished up the episodes that have been released for Hazbin Hotel, and I have to say, it's given me a lot to think about. A lot to chew on, per se. I think I want to do a video about my experience with these first few episodes as well, so I guess maybe be expecting a video about that as well. I've been excited about Hazbin Hotel for a long time, and I feel as if a lot of people feel the same. I'll get into everything else in another video, but one of the biggest reasons I have been excited for this show was for one of the characters, Angel Dust. The reason I have been so excited for him in his story is because it's a story that we don't get to hear a lot of the time, because the media is afraid to talk about this kind of stuff. Granted, it does get talked about and shown a lot more in mature live action shows, but it's not something that I have seen portrayed in cartoons by a certain character. Angel Dust is an adult entertainer, a famous one at that, one who is in a contract with the overlord Valentino. He sold his soul to him for reasons that are not currently clear, at least I don't think so, and if they are, I guess I missed it. He's a person who's in a really bad position, and it makes me really want things to get better for him. It makes me want to see him crawl out of the depths and succeed. That's why I've been so excited for him as a character. Now, from what I have seen, we're getting into his arc a lot faster than I thought we would be, which leaves me curious on how fast this show is going to progress. I mean, I know that we only have seen a little bit of what Angel has to go through, but I feel like we really got into the meat of it super early into the series. Now I'm legitimately wondering what they're going to do with his character now that the abuse and everything else that comes with that is out in the open. If you aren't aware of what I'm talking about, Angel Dust sold his soul to Valentino, who now technically owns Angel. With power like that over someone's soul, it becomes increasingly difficult to get out of a situation like that. And Angel Dust is only falling deeper into the pit. He's stuck in this contract, and I fear that he won't get out of it for a majority of the show. Now, let's talk about Angel Dust in episode 4 in particular. Angel has mentioned multiple times that he is at the hotel because he gets a place to stay, living rent-free. And although this may be partially true, I think that that's more surface level than anything. As we see throughout the episodes that have been put out so far, despite him saying it multiple times, he seems sad when the others really think that he's only doing this for a free room. I think that this is because he really does want to get better. Maybe not change himself completely, because I don't think that's cool to tell someone to change who they are because it doesn't match up into their perfect little box. But I think it's interesting because throughout the episode, which is called Masquerade, which is interesting in itself, Husk continues to call Angel Dust fake, and this increasingly upsets Angel more and more. Now that I think about it, Masquerade is a really, really fitting name for the episode. A masquerade is a gathering of people wearing masks and costumes, or it can also mean an action or appearance that is only for show. The reason I find this so interesting is because during the episode, the final time that Husk calls him out for being fake, he snaps, saying that it isn't an act, it's who he has to be. He sold his soul to a demon and paid the price for it. It was a bad decision and he has to live with it. Granted, we don't exactly know why he sold his soul, at least I don't. Whether it was simply a bad decision out of greed or if there was some other reason. But the fact of the matter is that he belongs to Valentino, and Valentino takes every advantage of that. He abuses Angel, and as portrayed in the song Poison, likely forces himself upon him as well. It's sad that he has to be the way that he is, and that his only escape is getting high and fucking himself up. Because, as he said in the show, maybe Valentino will leave him alone if he fucks himself up enough. Now, I didn't bring up the Masquerade fact for no reason. As I was looking up the official definition of Masquerade, it kind of clicked within me as a cool little aspect was brought to my attention. In the definition, it states that it is a gathering of masked people. A gathering of masked people, huh? Well, interestingly enough, we learn that Husk is in a similar situation as Angel. He gave his soul away for power that he gambled away and now is owned by Alistair, if I understood the message correctly. He doesn't have control of his own soul either, and in a sense, if you think about it, he's wearing a mask as well. Two people gathering together and allowing themselves to understand that they're wearing masks, and understanding that their situations suck, but dancing anyway since they realize they're at least not alone in this situation. Now, I want to take a step back and talk about the episode itself. The episode starts out with Angel showing the others one of his films that he created, when he gets called by Valentino to do an emergency shoot. Charlie doesn't want him to leave since they have a limited time before the next extermination, and Vaggie suggests she uses her power as the daughter of Lucifer to get Angel Dust more time off. Something I want to point out actually is how genuinely concerned that Angel sounds when he sees Charlie walk into the studio. He sounds afraid, concerned for her safety maybe? It's hard to tell. Anyway, Charlie walks in. Long story short, this pisses Valentino off, and instead of taking it out on Charlie, he takes his anger out on Angel for what Charlie did. He slaps Angel Dust, leaving a visible mark with how hard he hit him. Not only that, but Angel actively runs and cowers behind objects as he desperately apologizes to Val. And Val seems upset about the fact that he thinks that Angel is trying to escape his contract. He's pissed because he thinks that Angel brought the daughter of Lucifer to free him from his prison, when that's not entirely the case. He chains Angel up like a pet, or the slave he is, and shows him his contract, proving that he did in fact sell his soul to him. Also, if I'm not being stupid, I guess this means that Angel's real name is Anthony? I could be stupid though, either that or someone else signed for him, but I highly doubt that. Valentino tells Angel to get rid of Charlie, and instead of saying yes Valentino like he does with the other questions, he begins to defend her. And it even goes to the point of begging Valentino not to hurt Charlie, which is so sadly sweet in a horrible sense. Despite the mask he's been putting on, he really does care about other people, and he cares about them getting hurt as well, despite the fact that they're still rather new to knowing each other, if I remember correctly, because it's only been like a few weeks, right? I also want to take a look at the song that was viewed in this episode. Oh geez, where do I even start? This song? Well, it's a lot. The song is representing a shoot that Angel has to do through the night because of the whole situation with Charlie. The song is called Poison and depicts some very gruesome and vulgar visuals of what Angel has to go through within this studio as an adult entertainer. It's hard to watch, I'm not gonna lie, as it shows multiple mistreatings of Angel and multiple variations of intercourse that he has to go through. Not only that, but there are heavy implications that Valentino takes advantage of him as well. It is very clearly not consensual, and these interactions are hesitant, and the look of fear, disgust, and sometimes just plain tiredness that is displayed upon Angel's face is all we should really need to know that he does not want this. Which brings me to a point that I wanted to bring up thanks to a video I recently watched. Cartoon Universe brought up a point in their video that I hadn't considered. But now the more I think about it, the more I think it's a really good point. I'll link the video in the description below just in case you want to check them out. They said that this contract that Angel has with Valentino is a representation of consent, in a sense. And yeah, like, the more and more I look at Angel's situation, the more I realize that the complexities of consent are strewn throughout this situation. Why is that? Well, Angel did agree to sell his soul to Valentino. And I want to bring up a point that is rather nasty, in my opinion, but I have heard brought up many times when it comes to consent. The idea that since you agreed to it, you consented. Now, I know that there are some people typing in the comments right now that, what on earth are you saying? If you agreed, you consented. But that's not right, for a few reasons. First, you should always have the right to refuse, even if the intercourse has already started and you have changed your mind. Your partner should be respectful of your boundaries, as consent is more than just yes. There are also situations when yes can be forced upon you. You could be afraid of what could happen if you say no, you could be afraid what they're gonna do to your family, etc. And do you guys have any idea how scary it can be to be in a situation like this? Sometimes I don't think people understand how much power a person can hold over you, despite how easy it seems to just walk away. It's not always that easy. There's usually a power play in place, such as a living space or relationship or even people. It's a huge web and it's messy, and honestly, I'm going to leave it at that. The power that Valentino holds over Angel Dust is both his soul and now the safety of his friends. I know that last part sounds kind of weird, but think about it. Think about how scared Angel was for Charlie despite him being the one in the shitty situation. Like, despite how bad this was for him, the only thing he was willing to say anything aside from yes Valentino for was about getting Charlie out of his studio. It makes me feel hope for things getting better. Speaking of which, I'm sorry, I just can't let this slide. I love this show, I love these characters, but I can't let this go. Charlie went to go use her powers as the daughter of Lucifer to get Angel out of the situation, but when Valentino brings him back out after hitting him and threatening him, she gets mad, and understandably so. She says something along the lines of, "How dare you treat him like that," growing pissed before Angel steps between the two. Now, I understand that Angel was upset and Charlie felt bad for what she did to get him in trouble, but like, I guess I don't understand the others' understanding of Angel's situation. Like, do they know that he's sold his soul? Husk seems to know, but like, I don't know. It doesn't feel right that she wasn't like immediately trying to get him out of it with as much power as she has. And even if they don't know, after seeing the bruise on his eye, how could she possibly just walk away? Like, as the Princess of Hell, there has to be something you can do. It doesn't feel right that she saw how Valentino was treating Angel, and she still just left just because Angel told her to. I can't fully explain it, but something feels really off in my guts about this situation. I guess I just don't have enough information, but God, I don't know. Long story short, something don't feel right about that, but I guess we'll see. Angel Dust is a character that I have been excited for since the beginning of the pilot. I can't explain it in a way that'll make sense to everyone, but there's just a lot about him that feels so real, so relatable despite our situations being different. He's a character who has made mistakes and is suffering the consequences for those bad decisions. He has put up a facade to keep himself floating because he has to. The addiction to substances is a way for him to get through what he has to go through, because if he has to go through this shitty situation anyway, he might as well be high and enjoy it, right? Angel Dust is an amazing character who has touched the hearts of many and has been crawling up the ranks to be one of my favorite characters ever. The beauty of Angel Dust is that he's fucked up and afraid, hoping that things can change, but not knowing if that will ever happen. He's a loser, just like me, and just like you. But despite all of that, he's still just a person. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this was a bit of a longer one, but I guess I had a lot to say about Angel. I'm so excited for more Hazbin to come out. How have you guys felt about the series so far? Have you enjoyed it? Let me know in the comments below. With that being said, I hope you all had a wonderful day, and as always, stay safe, and I will see you all next time.